Today's podcast is presented by Podgo. That's right, Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you can always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. I recently joined as a member, and you can too. Apply today and become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co at podgo.co.
Hi, am I on the air?
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
Don, I got you.
Don, do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag grounded, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear, highest necks on the cloud. Am I in the air? Sunday nights, prime time. I flex mine better, Voltron transform to DX Don Mega. And off scene, you probably think I'm nice, cause I flow like a stream to your wireless device, and the smoke all the steam on any given night. I'll short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about, I tune in and tune the rest out, Don. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air?
Well, what is going down, everybody? Welcome back to another brand new edition of Am I on the Air? I'm your host, Don Mega, and I welcome you to the show. Yes, welcome. It is season 20, episode 21, and tonight's show is simply titled Space. Once again, we're broadcasting live from the Red Dragons radio studios here in lovely Tucson, Arizona. It is June 1st. That's right, June 1st, 2020. May went by in a flash, and now we're back to kick off June with the 21st episode of the 20th season of Am I on the Air? So I am excited to be here. This is your one-stop shop for all the latest and greatest when it comes to entertainment news, television, movies, reviews, the whole nine. This is the spot. So, I got a couple different things to get into that we're going to discuss tonight. Not really any movies per se. I mean, I do have technically one new movie to talk about, and it's an animated film. I'm going to talk a little Justice League Dark, Apokolips War, and then everything else is pretty much streaming stuff that I'm getting into. So, and then of course, getting you caught up with the last week's worth of entertainment news. So let's jump right into it, why don't we? And I'll start off with the Justice League movie. Justice League Dark, Apokolips War is the latest animated movie from DC. And I'm going to preface my review right now by saying I'm not the biggest animated fan. It's very hard for me, as much as I love these characters, as much as I love the stories, and the source material, ever since I've been a grown-ass man, it's been hard for me to go back and really enjoy animated stuff. I know a lot of my peeps included, Friggins, Geeky Pat, all these guys, a lot of my good friends, they all love these animated specials, right? They love animation in general. And just for me, I've always had this disconnect with it over the past several years. To where when we do countdowns and stuff like that, we always make the joke that, I don't include animated films, in my countdowns because I feel like they're on a different level. But I thought this new Justice League movie looked really, really good. I liked the preview for it. I was really intrigued that it was rated R, and I was curious to see where it went. Full foreclosure here that I know that this is basically the end to the story that was started several years ago in the DC animated universe that they did kind of after Rebirth, where I think it started with the Flashpoint movie, which I did see that, and then all the other individual films took place in this world kind of culminating here with this Justice League Dark Apokolips War, and then the timeline kind of gets reset again so they can do something different. So I have not seen all the movies, so I might not have been as vast, across the mythology of what's happened in the previous films. But long story short with this one here, the movie starts with Superman putting the crew together and saying, hey, let's go fight Apokolips or Darkseid, sorry. We're going to go to Apokolips, we're going to fight Darkseid because he's going to try to destroy the world. They get there and they get ambushed and pretty much all hell breaks loose. And then we jump fast forward a couple years where Earth has been decimated by Darkseid, and everybody's kind of down and out on their luck, and it's just about coming back again and going for that second wave against Darkseid. So it's an interesting movie. It's done very well. It's got a lot of characters that pop up in it. Sometimes it doesn't make sense why certain characters are there. But, I appreciate them trying to put everybody in this movie. Constantine kind of is a lead here along with Raven and Superman. At the end of the day, I thought it was decent. I thought it was good. I know a lot of my friends have really, really liked this one. And I'm guessing, if you're down with all the animation stuff, you probably will really, really like it. But for me, I just thought it was okay. It's not something I'd probably sit and go through again. But it's definitely worth a watch. It's definitely unique, some of the choices they take with the characters. And if you're a fan of these characters and the source material, I think you should give it a watch. So check it out. Justice League Dark Apokolips War. Now, getting to some other streaming stuff. So the newest streaming show for us to jump into is the new Steve Carell show, Space Force. This is on Netflix, and I've been really looking forward to this show. It's written and produced by Steve Carell, along with his writing partner from The Office show that he did on NBC for all those years. I love the concept that basically, hey, we're going to start a Space Force, and they want Steve Carell to head it up. So here's what I'm going to say about Space Force. I am 6 episodes through it. I believe it's 10 episodes in total, so I'm over halfway through. It's a pretty easy binge because the shows are only a half hour long, and it's a comedy, so it's always easier to get through comedies. On the negative side, I'll say it's not as funny as I had hoped it to be. I'm a big Steve Carell fan, and just with the cast here, John Malkovich and Lisa Kudrow and just a whole bunch of other people that pop up in this thing, I just expected it to be a lot better than it is. But that's not saying that it's bad. I'm enjoying it. It's actually got some good laughs. The first couple episodes are a little and I could see where some people might drop out of it right away and just say, hey, it wasn't for me. I think the show ramps up the longer it goes. Once you start to really get into the characters, I think you'll really enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to finishing that out later this week. And then we'll talk about probably the wrap up here on next week's episode. But I would give a thumbs up to Space Force over on Netflix. You got nothing to lose at this point. Give it a watch if you're a Steve Carell fan. You like kind of satire comedy like this. I think you'll like it. So check it out. Now, another reason I titled tonight's show Space, which, mainly because of Space Force, but we did something pretty cool over the weekend. My family and I, we went to do a drive-in. The movie theaters here are still closed, but because of that, there's been a couple pop-up drive-ins that have kind of returned to form, right? We haven't seen drive-ins in years, and there's a drive-in about 20 minutes up the road, and we went there over the weekend, and we watched Star Trek Beyond at this drive-in, and another space movie. And I'll tell you though, it was fun. It was fun to kick it old school and bring the car and pop the trunk and put out some lawn chairs and just sit back and watch this movie. I like Star Trek Beyond, and it was nice to revisit the film again because I don't think I had seen it since I saw it in the theater when it came out. So that was really cool to do that. My daughter did not like it. She was just like, what is this? Why does it look comic booky? She was just like, she was over it pretty quick. She just wanted to eat her snacks and hang out in the car. But it was a fun time, man, and you could buy some snacks, and it was one price to get the whole car in, and it was just a nice throwback. So I just thought I'd throw it out there that, hey, check your local paper, online, check Facebook. See if you have any of these pop-up drive-ins in your local town. It might be something cool to go check out. Okay, The next thing I started binging is the show Dave. This is an FX show that I'm watching actually on Hulu. And this was a show I wasn't really going to watch, but I've had several friends watch it and say, dude, you got to check it out. It's pretty damn funny. So I have watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. And it is pretty funny overall. I'm not going to say it's great, and I'm not going to say it's as good as some of my friends hyped it up to be, but overall it is pretty damn funny, and the character is really cool. And when you have a lead character that you can kind of connect with and you like, it definitely makes the show easier to binge through. So I will definitely continue watching and see where the show takes me. So Dave is a loosely based on the real life story of Little Dicky, who's a rapper, and this is about his life and him trying to come up and get that record deal. So check out Dave on Hulu or FX. I talked on this show several weeks ago about the new Apple TV Plus show Defending Jacob with Chris Evans. I've been, that's a 1 episode a week show, and finally the 8th and final episode aired this past weekend, and it was really good, man. It was really, really good. I highly recommend this show if you have Apple. Get Apple TV Plus. It's only $5 a month. If you just bought an Apple product within the last year, you'll get a year free of Apple TV Plus. So use that subscription, get it, watch Defending Jacob. There's actually a lot of good shows on Apple TV Plus, but I really, really like Defending Jacob. It ends on a little bit of a note where I feel like I didn't get as much closure as I hoped to be. But I really dug the show nonetheless, and it had me on the edge of my seat most of the time. So check out Defending Jacob. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just debuted in its 7th and final season this past, Wednesday night, I believe, over on ABC. And I'm a big fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I have loved this show, and I've stuck it through with this show since season 1, when a lot of people jumped off the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. train. I have completely stayed on. Last season, I did not care for it very much, but I said, you know what? It's got one more season. I'm going to ride it to the end. And I'm going to say I didn't like this season premiere either. They go back in time. They travel back in time to, I believe, 1932. They're trying to stop the Chronicoms, which just seems so made up. I'm sure they actually did pull that from a comic book, but it seems so made up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like they just came up with this dumb robot name. Agent Coulson is a life model decoy now. There's just so much going on in this show, and I just don't feel its connection anymore. When this show first started, there was so much connectivity to the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe, and these last couple seasons, they've gone so far off the rails that there's just nothing connecting. Not even to mention that they can do this time travel because of Tony Stark or anything. So it's definitely a bummer there. But hey, once again, it's the final season. I'll ride it to the end, but I'm just here to tell you that I did not care for the season premiere very much. But watch it for yourself if you're interested. It's now streaming on Hulu and, of course, abc.com on demand, and we'll go from there. And lastly, I'm going to talk real quick. I told you guys on last week's show that HBO MAX was launching, and I wanted to give a brief run-through on HBO MAX and just let you know that the funny part about it is I sign up, and the first thing that I start doing on HBO Max is I start binging Watchmen. I know a lot of you have watched Watchmen already. I was late to the party on this one, just never had a chance to get into it while it was actually on HBO in its normal form. But you know what? I got some time now, so I said, hey, now's the time. Let's watch Watchmen on HBO Max. And I like it. I like Watchmen a lot. I'm about 4 episodes in, and so far I'm really, really digging it. So highly recommend checking out Watchmen if you're late to the party like I am. Now, when it comes to HBO Max itself, I will tell you right off the top, I am as disappointed as a lot of people are at one simple fact. You cannot stream HBO Max on the Amazon Fire Stick or on Roku. So those are the 2 biggest streaming platforms, and it is not available. You can only watch HBO Max on Chromecast, PS4, Xbox, or the mobile apps on Android and iOS. That is a horrible rollout. We've known that HBO Max was coming for probably close to 2 years at this point. And how the hell do you not have a deal in place for the two biggest streaming partners like Amazon and Roku? I just don't get it, and it's really pissed a lot of people off because they did not say anything about that until launch day. When launch day came, then it was like, oh, we're sorry, we're not on these, but we're trying. And sorry, but trying isn't good enough. A lot of people feel like they, were swindled, that they signed up and they have no way to watch the damn service. I'll tell you, the app is a little funky. It works really well on your phone. It works great on your tablet. I've been watching through Chromecast, and it's actually been just fine. I did the actual HBO Max app on my PS4, and it's super laggy. It's very slow. It's just not super responsive, and I don't think it's the PlayStation. I have a PS4 Pro, and I don't know, man. Nothing else seems to lag as much as the HBO Max app. So I guess I'll stick to my Chromecasting for now and hope that they can work out this deal with Amazon, because I want to watch it on the Fire Stick. There's only one new show that you can watch, one original show for HBO Max, which is the Anna Kendrick show Love Life, which I was going to watch, and then I watched the trailer and I was like, yeah, this isn't the show for me. My wife was like, ooh, this looks like a show for me. And I was like, yes, it does. Not for me, but for you. So she's probably going to watch it, but not for me. And then everything else they're pushing on it right now is that you can watch Friends and you can watch Big Bang Theory and stuff like that. But that's it. I mean, there's not much else other than your normal HBO programming, which is why I'm just watching Watchmen on it. So the part of me that doesn't want to complain about it is because I basically get HBO Max for free. I have Comcast for my cable provider, and Comcast is offering, hey, if you have HBO as already a part of your plan, you get HBO Max for free. I had actually signed up for HBO Max, and once I read that I got it for free through Comcast, I linked my email address, and they were very nice and canceled my paid subscription, and I'll just do it through my Comcast. And if you pay for HBO Now, it's the same thing. You get HBO Max for free. So it's hard. I see a lot of people complaining, and I'm like, what are you complaining about? Because most people are getting this thing for free. So it's kind of hard to complain about something you're not paying a dime for. And I'm not going to give up hope on it. It's early. It's early in its, concept. I know that, obviously from doing this show every week, we talk about all these new shows that are coming to HBO Max. There's going to be a bunch of Disney stuff coming, or not Disney, sorry, DC stuff coming. We got Doom Patrol coming later in June. And then, of course, they're doing the Justice League Dark show, and they're doing Green Lantern, and there's going to be a bunch of other stuff. So I'm on board. It might take a while to get some really good programming up and running. They should have came out with some more stuff out the gate. But like I said, I can't get mad at something that's free, and I know it'll be really, really good here within the next year. So my fingers are crossed, and we'll continue to ride with HBO Max. So there you go, guys, where we talked about the drive-in. We talked about Space Force. We talked about Dave, Defending Jacob, Justice League Dark Apokolips War, Watchmen, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and HBO Max. So at that point, I'm going to switch gears and let's get over to our news of the week. News of the week. So BlizzCon 2020 has been canceled due to the global pandemic, of course. Amazon is developing a Elizabeth Salander standalone series. That's right, it is going to be the girl with the dragon tattoo. But this is not attached to any of the films. This is going to be a solo series based on her character that takes place years later after the books and after the movies, where we just catch up with her as her hacker turned private investigator, and the cases that she's on. So that's going to be coming to Amazon Studios here soon. We have the first trailer for Hulu's new Love, Victor, which is a spinoff, of course, of Love, Simon, the movie that came out a couple years ago. That's coming to Hulu. Let's see here. Uncut Gems, the directors of that movie, the Safdie brothers, have inked a first look deal over at HBO. So they're going to be doing a lot more HBO stuff as we move forward. Jason Blum continues to tease that the Spawn reboot is moving forward and still with Jamie Foxx, and everything is still set. And I just don't know, man. This Spawn movie continues to be like one of these things that you're just like, come on, this is a rumor, right? This is a fluke. This movie is just never going to come out because they made all these casting announcements, and news like years ago at Comic-Con, and nothing has happened. So I'll continue a wait-and-see approach here. Blumhouse's new movie Run Sweetheart Run has been acquired by Amazon Studios, so that will debut first on the streaming service. Netflix's Spelling the Dream trailer has been released about the new documentary. David Ayer continues to talk about a possible Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. You know, we talked about this a little bit on last week's show with the whole Snyder cut thing. David Ayer is saying, like, hey, I have my version of the movie. It'd be really easy to put together. It's darker. It's going to feel more like Joker. He says that the studio made him kind of turn it into a comedy, and that was never his intention. Suicide Squad was always supposed to be this dark, angry movie. So, yeah, he continues to tease it, and I can only hope that maybe one day we will see that. Scott Derrickson has signed on to direct a Labyrinth sequel. Labyrinth, remember that movie? Crazy, man. We hear rumors every couple years that they want to do a sequel to it, and now we know that Scott Derrickson, director of Doctor Strange, is going to take on the duty. Season 3 of Dark is coming in June over on Netflix. The Wildest Animals in Griffith Park. That's right. Margot Robbie is set to produce Caitlin Dever and Joey King-led series. There you go. That's called The Wildest Animals in Griffith Park. I think Hollywood's just running out of names at this point because they're coming up with some weird-ass titles. FX has officially renewed It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for season 15, so congratulations there. They've also greenlit the American Horror Story spin-off show that will be a episodic show with one story each week. So congratulations to Always Sunny, man. I can't believe it. Season 15. It is the longest running live action show. It could be, I think, on all of TV, definitely on FX. Director Edgar Wright, he talked about how his movie Last Night in Soho has been pushed back all the way to 2021, and now we have an official release date. The movie will be released on Friday, April 23rd, 2021. That's right. It was originally supposed to come out in September of this year, and once again, there's no reason it couldn't have been released then, but they decided to push it all the way back to April 2021. So there you go. That's when Last Night in Soho will be released. We have the trailer for Royalty starring Darren Criss. It's a new Quibi series, and you can check out that first trailer now. It has been confirmed that James Mangold will direct Indiana Jones 5. So James Mangold, who of course directed Logan, and he did Ford v Ferrari, he is going to be doing Indiana Jones 5, and that might be a pretty damn good move right there, based on our last go around with the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So I like it, and they're finally going to start to get things together. It'll probably be delayed once again because James Mangold's going to rewrite the script now since he has control over it. Jesse Eisenberg has come out and said that he's very happy that Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to be happening. So maybe some more scenes with good old Lex. We have a pretty cool article up with the HBO chief of content talking about landing the Justice League Snyder cut. So pretty cool to read there. Let's see here. Jason Bourne, producer, wants a new story and director for a 6th film. That's right. They want to bring it back. They're not saying it's not dead yet. I don't know if I want another Jason Bourne movie, to be honest. I mean, that last one was just meh. So we'll see what they end up doing with it there. It looks like the season 10 of American Horror Story will be delayed until 2021. No shocker there, as pretty much everything in 2020 has been delayed to 2021. Better Things has also been renewed over at FXX and FX. Tucka and Birdie, which had previously been canceled by Netflix, is getting picked up for a second life over on Adult Swim. So that's pretty cool there. Universal Pictures has picked up the film rights to Sholomance, which is an upcoming fantasy book series from Naomi Novik. Zack Snyder put out another picture of the first official photo of Darkseid from these Snyder Cut, so pretty cool to see an original version of Darkseid popped up there. Let's see here. Apple and Paramount Pictures are partnering for Martin Scorsese's new film Killers of the Flower Moon. This was the news of last week, that Henry Cavill himself is in negotiations to return as Superman. You know, it's like somebody knew that my birthday got screwed up a couple months ago in March because of COVID, and they were like, how can we pay it back to Don Mega? What can we do to make it better? And first somebody said, let's give him the Snyder cut of Justice League, and I was like, hells yeah. And then they were like, I got it. Let's bring Henry Cavill back as Superman. And then it was like, ding, 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 ding. Yeah, we did it. We made Don Mega's life that much better. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I have Man of Steel is one of my all-time favorite comic book movies. I love Batman v Superman. I love Justice League in the way that it is. And I have always wanted to see him come back and do something else. I know that he was supposed to be in Shazam, and then scheduling conflicts. We got that cute cameo at the end, but we didn't see his head, which was like, so close. But now it looks like, yes, he is coming back. And now here's the interesting thing, though. They're saying it's not going to be for a Man of Steel 2, and it's not really a solo movie, but that they're looking to bring him back to be a part of another DC character's film, whether it be Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, The Flash. So those are some of the projects that are being floated that he could actually pop up in. Definitely not going to be in Wonder Woman, just because of obviously the timeline. That movie's already in the can. So is Suicide Squad 2, and so he could also be in Black Adam, possibly maybe going toe to toe with The Rock. So it's got to be something big enough to get him to sign a new contract, first and foremost, especially if you're not going to offer him a solo film. So whatever the case may be, please get the pen to paper. We love Henry Cavill as Superman. I think the outpouring support for him on social media has been fantastic. I want to see him come back as Superman, as the Superman we know and love, as the Superman just that I know he can be. There's a little rumor going around out there that, J.J. Abrams signed this big deal with Bad Robot and Warner Brothers last year. And there's always been rumors that JJ has been involved with some sort of Superman project. And we know he's going to be doing Justice League Dark, and he's getting his hands into the DC world. Well, one of the rumors going around is that JJ Abrams will do, I don't know if he's going to direct it or maybe just produce it, but that he wants to do a Superman movie, and that possibly a part of these negotiations is to bring Henry Cavill back for the JJ Abrams movie. So my fingers are definitely crossed for that as well, because especially if JJ directs, I think it would be a really badass Superman movie. So whatever the case it may be, once again, I'm just super stoked that Henry Cavill is in negotiations, that he's looking to return, and whether it's in Black Adam, or it's in Shazam 2, or it's in Aquaman 2, or it's in The Flash, I'm looking very forward to seeing Kal-El once again. Okay, moving along. Jeff Fowler and Tim Miller's The Goon movie update. And they've released some storyboards that you can check out. But yes, they're still working on the long-awaited film adaptation of The Goon. Amazon Prime, we have everything coming in June 2020. All the movie and TV titles have been announced for Amazon Prime. Director Wes Ball explains honoring the original Planet of the Apes films in his new reboot. So we knew that he was doing a movie. We weren't sure at the time if it was going to be a sequel or if it was going to be a reboot, a spin-off. It now looks like it is going to be a spin-off kind of film. It takes place in the same world as Caesar and all the apes that we grew to know and love in that awesome trilogy that we just had. But it's a spin-off. It takes place with another set of apes and another story that kind of honors Caesar and everything that became it, but it's its own story and it's its own thing. So they're saying they'll definitely pay homage, but they wanted to do their own thing. So I can dig that. It definitely makes sense of where I thought it would be going. People were asking James Gunn, like, hey, what do you think if David Ayer gets his own cut of Suicide Squad? And James Gunn was like, sure, release it. He's like, whatever they do with that property is up to them, not me. So I love that he plays it so cool, man. I love it. There's a new game show coming called Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge, and it premieres on June 3rd. So get ready. That's coming to Disney+. Apple TV Plus has ordered a new Fraggle Rock reboot to series, down a Fraggle Rock. We have an article up teasing the plot of Avatar 2 if you want to get into that. HBO Max, for those of you who didn't know, launched with the Harry Potter movies. This was something that originally they had said they will not have the Harry Potter movies because NBC had bought the rights to it. Everybody thought, okay, they're going to put it up on Peacock, and that's going to be that. Well, in a last-minute move before HBO Max launched, they worked out a deal and they bought the rights back for all 8 of the Harry Potter movies. So they are all streaming together on HBO Max if you're interested. Christopher Nolan explains why he crashed a real 747 for Tenet. Interesting article there where he basically just says it was easier to blow up a plane than to do CGI. Doug Liman is set to direct Tom Cruise in space movie. We talked about this before. I didn't know it was going to be this close to happening, but it looks like they're going to do something with Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Tom Cruise, and now Doug Liman is going to direct. This is just craziness, man. I guess we'll keep you posted on what happens from there. We have the trailer for Bulletproof, a new Thomas Jane movie. You can check that out. Like I said, Big Bang Theory is streaming on HBO Max. All 12 seasons, all 279 episodes are streaming on the HBO Max app. Let's see here. Paramount Pictures has officially greenlit a Sonic the Hedgehog sequel. So yes, we're getting Sonic 2, which I'm actually excited about. Sonic turned out to be one of those pleasant surprises of the current year. My daughter absolutely loved it. We have the key art for Doom Patrol Season 2, so you can check that out. And it's goofy and just like Doom Patrol would be. Paul Feig is set to direct a new Netflix movie, an adaptation of The School for Good and Evil. Hamilton director Thomas Kail is set to helm Fiddler on the Roof adaptation. Lee Whannell announced that he's going to be developing an Upgrade sequel series. So remember that movie Upgrade that came out last year where the dude was a quadriplegic and they put the memory chip in the back of his head and then he could fight, he could do whatever because the computer took control of his body? Well, they're now going to make a TV series out of it that takes place several years down the road, and it's a new improved chip. I'm excited about this. Upgrade was one of the best movies of the year that year, and I would love to see some kind of sequel series come to fruition. So glad that it's going to be from Lee Whannell himself. He's actually going to direct the show also. So we don't know where it's going to go at this point, but yes, he is developing that, and I love it. Starz has picked up a new reimagined Step Up series from Lionsgate TV. So Step Up, remember those movies about the dancing? It's coming to Starz. The Andy Samberg comedy Palm Springs is heading straight to streaming. It will hit Hulu in July. I've heard a lot of good things about this one, so I would definitely check that out. Cate Blanchett is officially boarded the Borderlands movie that Eli Roth is going to be directing, so great addition there. Awkwafina and Karen Gillan are reteaming for a new action comedy movie called Shelley. Good pairing there. J.K. Simmons talks about Commissioner Gordon's role in the upcoming Snyder Cut, so pretty interesting article there. Cobra Kai is going to be leaving YouTube, and they're looking for a new streaming house to take it from there. The third season of Cobra Kai won't debut on YouTube as they are in search for a new streaming home. We have the trailer for Volition that you can check out. It's a new sci-fi thriller. Let's see here. HBO Max has just ordered from Laura Bernardi Homeschool Musical. That's right, it is starring real students from canceled high school musical productions, and they'll be putting them on for HBO Max in 2020, from the class of 2020 as well. Let's see here. Gal Gadot is set to star in a new limited Apple TV series about the legendary Hollywood icon and inventor Hedy Lamarr. This was originally going to be a Showtime show, and now Apple TV Plus bought the rights to that. Quibi has renewed Dismantled with Titus Burgess hosting his cooking competition from the Chopped creator. I watched one episode of this because I like Titus, but oh my god, was the show stupid as fuck. So, but hey, good that people were watching it, and it got renewed for a second season. Disney talks about how The Simpsons will stream in both 4.3 and 16.9 aspect ratios, and you can kind of pick and choose what you want to watch. Quibi has also set the What We Keep documentary series from Cynthia Erivo, so that'll be coming here to Quibi. Hometown has been renewed for season 5 by HDTV. Vice, the network Vice, has announced that Dark Side of the Ring is their highest rated show in the cable network's history. No shocker here. The only thing I ever watch Vice for is for this show, Dark Side of the Ring, which is a fantastic show. I don't know anybody that watches anything else on this channel, so no shocker there to see it be its biggest thing. Harry Connick Jr. is going to host a new CBS All-Star Grammy salute to unsung heroes, so they'll be putting that together. Disney Plus is set to launch in Japan on June 11th, so congratulations that they finally get that. We have an article up talking about the premiere of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., talking about the final season debut, more Marvel, time travel, Hydra, and how it all ends. Check out this article if you want to know more about the current season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't really feel like the article gives away much, but definitely check it out. Morbius director Daniel Espinosa is set to helm the Jamal Khashoggi murder biopic film, so that's going to be an important one. Ryan Gosling is set to play the Wolfman in Universal's reboot. That's right, remember the whole Dark Universe and all the monster movies they were going to do? Ryan Gosling is the Wolfman, so congratulations there. I'll be curious to see where this one takes us. HBO Max is speeding up the Love Life episode release schedule. So I told you HBO Max only had one new original show, which is Love Life with Anna Kendrick. And supposedly they did, when the streaming service launched, it launched with 3 episodes of this show. And they said that they were downloaded so quick and everybody watched them really fast. So instead of doing their typical 1 episode a week kind of rollout, they did 3 episodes out the gate. Then on this Thursday or Friday, they're going to drop another 3 episodes, and then the following week they're going to do another 3 episodes and kind of wrap up the series. So yeah, I mean, they're blazing through it, but I guess it's all about demand, right? So they want to keep it hot while it is. So congratulations there for that. Let's see here. The Amathea film series is in development with Bruce Logan directing. That's right, it's a sci-fi franchise based on the Amathea book series in development from Rio Vista Universal. Looks like some kind of witch chick with wings. Sorry, don't know much about the source material on that one. Diary of a Future President has been renewed for season 2 over on Disney Plus. Mike Mitchell is set to helm We're Not From Here from Columbia Pictures. Script changes led Paramount to bail on Killers of the Flower Moon. We talked about this earlier, that it was going to go to a streaming service, which I believe Apple's picked up. And now, Paramount Pictures says they just, too many script changes made them hesitant. Cush Jumbo is not returning to the next season of The Good Fight. Let's see, we talked about that. Oh, HBO Max has also acquired the exclusive streaming rights to Young Sheldon. Of course they did, and why wouldn't they, right? They have all the rights to Big Bang Theory. You might as well take the spinoff show as well. Young Sheldon will stream exclusively on HBO Max. Tom Ellis finally, officially closes his deal to return as Lucifer for a potential season 6. This is something that started to happen a couple months ago. We all got excited. Then they said talks fell through and it wasn't going to happen. Well, talks went back. And finally, even though Netflix has not officially renewed Lucifer for a 6th season, Tom Ellis has made the renewal announcement and closed his deal to return if they want to make a season 6. So why not? I love Lucifer. I can't wait for season 5. Give me season 6. Let's do this. Leonardo DiCaprio is eyeing a possible role in Adam McKay's Don't Look Up. We have an article up with Chad Stahelski talking about The Matrix 4, John Wick, and his Highlander reboot, so definitely something to check out. Sylvester Stallone is going to narrate a new Rocky documentary that's set to enter the on-demand ring this June, so that would be a pretty cool documentary. I would love to hear the story about that. We have an article all up about how users are upset that they can't access the Roku or Amazon Fire for HBO Max. We already kind of talked about this earlier, but just, we got this article up in case you want to know more. Apple TV's Ted Lasso comedy. We get the first look at the Jason Sudeikis series. I can tell already this is going to be something right up my alley. I'm excited about that. Disney is casting for Star Wars Rebels character Ezra. They're going to do a new Disney Plus series around Ezra, which I think is fantastic. I'm really, really excited about this, and I didn't even watch Clone Wars. I just think it's really cool to do something with this character. We have an article up talking about HBO Max's Hidden Gems. It's 20 offbeat favorites that you can stream right now on the app. So just trying to get more word out there on some cool stuff. We're going to finally see some new gameplay from the Marvel Avengers game on June 24th. So that's going to be awesome. It looks like The Flash will finally face off with Godspeed when Season 7 comes out. So that's about time. They've been teasing it for a long time. Rumor has it that Evan Peters himself has been reportedly cast in a key role in the WandaVision series. I can't help it but make me think that he's playing Quicksilver and they're going to actually loop the multiverse together and bring him in from the Fox world. They could. You never know. But very interesting casting of all people to put Evan Peters, who played Quicksilver in multiple X-Men movies, Wanda's, Scarlet Witch's brother, to bring him in on a WandaVision show. So obviously he probably isn't playing Quicksilver, but you never know. It's hard for me to see anything else. Kevin James' new thriller movie Becky is set to screen at some select theaters that have reopened and the pop-up drive-ins that we talked about beginning on June 5th. So that's pretty cool there. J.K. Simmons teases that you're going to love what he ends up doing in the new MCU version of his J. Jonah Jameson character. So I love that. An interesting article came out the other day with Patty Jenkins talking about why she turned down doing Justice League 2. And basically her answer kind of sucked to me. She was like, I don't like continuity and there was too many characters. Her comments lately talking about this and talking about why she didn't do Thor 2 for Marvel, she kind of doesn't come off very well in these interviews to me. I think she's a great director. I love what she's done with Wonder Woman, but it just sounded snotty. It was like, oh, there's too many people and I don't like continuity and it just, I don't like those kind of stories. It's like, really? Come on, lady. Come on. Let's see here. There's Matrix, the John Wick spinoff Ballerina. We have an article up with Chad Stahelski revealing some new details about the Len Wiseman directed John Wick spinoff Ballerina. Avatar looks to be restarting their production here soon as James Cameron and John Landau have arrived in New Zealand. They're getting ready to start filming once again, so that's awesome. We got an article up with Paul Dano talking about the Batman. He's playing Penguin in the new movie, so it's pretty cool what he says about it. The New Mutants. Director Josh Boone says he's still hopeful for the film's potential trilogy. What world is this guy living in that he thinks, after this movie's been delayed for like 3 years, that they're going to get a trilogy out of New Mutants? He's smoking crack. Sarah Jessica Parker says that she's ready to make the magic happen again for Hocus Pocus 2. We've been hearing that a lot lately. That should be coming to Disney Plus here soon. And lastly, I like this news because I'm a big wrestling fan. WWE announced today they have launched a free version of the WWE Network. Free, a no-cost version, launched today with more than 15,000 titles, including episodes of Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and a bunch others. Check out the free version now, man. I like it, and it sounds like that there's not even ads in it. That the reason they're doing a free version is basically the only difference from what my understanding is that you don't get the pay-per-views. If you want to have the pay-per-views included, you got to pay the $9.99. But if not, you get everything for free. Just go watch the free version. And tonight, a new show called Raw Talk is going to debut on the network, and it's going to be hosted by Charlie Caruso with Samoa Joe, and they're going to have Seth Rollins on the show. So very cool that a free version of the network has launched today. And on that note, my friends, that is it for us on this new episode of Am I on the Air? So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining us on this ride and letting me give you about 45 minutes of entertainment news that takes you just kind of out of the world right now that we live in, because there's a lot of craziness going on in that world. If you thought COVID was one thing, we have shifted completely to racism in the last couple of days, and the world is in a crazy place right now. So I'm just happy to be able to come here and provide you with just a little bit of a pause in the world and some fresh air to just listen to some entertainment news and get your, try to hopefully get your mind right and put a smile on your face. But that's all I can do, unfortunately, from here. So I thank you. I thank you once again for listening. I thank you for taking the time. Thank you for supporting. So some shout outs. Our official webpage is amiontheair.com. Please follow us on Twitter at amiontheair. You can follow me on Twitter at dxdonmega. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/amiontheair. Subscribe and download us on Apple Podcast. If Apple Podcast ain't your thing, don't you worry, we got you covered. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play Podcast. We're all over the interweb, so definitely check it out, y'all. Subscribe to us on Instagram and YouTube as well, simply Am I on the Air? And of course, thank you to our great affiliates at reddragonsradio.com, where you can always stream the show. Follow on Twitter at Red Dragons Radio, all one word, and see and hear about all the great podcasts on that website. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in on this June the 1st. I hope you all have an amazing week. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and each other. It never meant more than it does right now. And until next time, y'all. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Red Dragons!